healing challenge. It begins here, where I speak to you about forgiveness. I speak to you about transformation. I speak to you about the power of healing. I speak to you about the active work that we need to do in order to be the full measure of Christ. For far too long, we've been told Christ has done it all. We don't have to do anything, and Christ has done it all. We just pray. No, being a follower of Christ is active. It's transformation. It's progressive movement in relationship to a deeper and deeper and deeper place with God. And if we don't pursue the depth, if we don't seek, we do not find. If we do not knock, no one answers the door, right? And so I pray that you have been blessed by this time together. I thank you for showing up every day that we have been together. And so as I draw us to a close, I'd like, those of you who wish to speak, I'd like you to talk about maybe one takeaway, and very short, one takeaway that you will come out of this 7-day journey with. Could be from today's, talk, or it could be from any other
time. I could start it off, Dr. Joan. This is Edward. For me, the thing that sticks is that by not forgiving, by not letting go, we're doing ourselves our own harm. We're harming ourselves continually by holding on to the resentment or the feeling of being let down. Absolutely. So that's my takeaway.
Thank you, Edward. Absolutely.
Hey, good evening, all. My name is Raul.
Hi, Raul.
And my takeaway is I've realized that Christ, our God, has called us to be like him. Mm-hmm. And I can see the process. And I think this was so long overdue. And I would like to thank Pastor Morris for hooking up with you and for allowing us as a family to come and do this together. It is a great blessing to me. And I think my own personal family have to be part of something like this. And just like you say, the words that I got when I asked my wife about it, she said, Christ has done it all. And I said, well, for my family's sake, I'm going to take part in this because I think my family went through a lot of hurt and wounded. Because 3 years ago, I lost a son by gun violence. And I think my wife is still going through that pain. And during that period, I think Christ just shielded me. And I would like to thank my church family for being there for me. And sooner or later, I would like to follow up with this. I would be glad if my family could be part of something like this, because I have kids who are going through deep hurt and deep pain.
Yes.
And I find, I don't know if it's because of our culture or something, we don't think we need help. And we think everything is okay and we brush everything under the rug. And I think for quite a while, even in the church, we don't think we need this kind of healing and this kind of forgiveness. But I think this is one of our greatest hindrance as a community and as a people. And unless we do this and do this more often, I can't see we are stepping into that likeness or like Christ that he expect us to be from the beginning, and he created us to be like that since before we were even born. So with this I see now we are moving into that likeness of God, or that imitation of God that he would really like us to be like, and to be like that salt and that light and what he wants us to be in this world as part of his government. God bless you, and you're doing a great work. And we love you so much. And thank you, and thank you, and thank you, and thank your family. and thank my church family. God bless you all. I love you all.
Amen. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Dr. Jones, for your great work. And my takeaway is close the right doors and open the right doors.
Very good.
May God continue to bless you, strengthen you, open your eyes so that going forward, you will be there to help many, many more to come. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I would like to thank you, Dr. Joan. When Pastor Morris introduced us today and told us that this is a very good thing, and as a church we need to do it. I have to say, once we started it, I did not get what I expected, but I got what I needed.
Mm.
So I expected this to be, the standard. These are the things that you do, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. And what I got was truly what I needed and so different. It's more about being Christ-like. The forgiveness was real. What you took us through was so real. I mean, just seeing what Debbie revealed to us. This is actually, for me, a session that maybe we shouldn't be a part of it. And that is why I say it's not what I expected, but it's what we needed. We needed to have seen this so that we understand what it's about. So I thank you for that.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you.
I also want to second what Chris said. When I started it the first night, I didn't really know what to expect. But as we got through the week, I think maybe it was that night when Deb was speaking, like the real light bulb came on for me.
Yes.
As she began to speak, as everyone know from my church family, I'm a bubbly, joyful person and walk around pretending like everything was okay and kind of hid everything in the closet and never really came forward. A lot of people don't really know the struggles I've been through, whether it's currently or in the past. A few of my church members knew a little bit of some of the physical struggles, but for the most, some real deep personal struggles I've been through. And as Deb spoke Wednesday night, I think it was, I sat and I listened to her and I literally felt like I was going to get a panic attack. And I realized I was questioning myself. I've never lost a child, but all that pain from whatever else started to come through. And I was literally like trembling, like I felt literally like I was getting a panic attack.
Yeah.
And as I reflected after the session was over, I realized, my goodness, there is so much darkness and so much that I hid, and it started to, come through. And the second night after she spoke, I had literally maybe an hour and a half sleep after the session. I had a real unrest in my spirit that night because there is so much hurt that I hid for many, many, many years. And the work has just begun. There's a lot of reflection going on. And I will be speaking to you, Dr. Jones. And you just continue to pray for me because the journey for me
Yes.
has begun. And, you know, hopefully the healing will take place and I will find that place of peace. I want to just thank you very much for your insight and for your gift, and may God continue to bless you. And thank you, Pastor Michael, for allowing us to be a part of this session. Thank you very much.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Hyacinth, for being so vulnerable, even in this time, for speaking to the struggles, because this is what's going to happen. Is we're going to get some stuff fluffed up, right? And that's okay. That's exactly what is to happen. Pray, because prayer is so powerful, but we want to be very specific about the things that we pray for, and we want to approach our prayer so that we ask God to reveal the things that we need to see. And as soon as we ask that question, God gives us the answer. So we can maybe take one more person, and then we're going to close off with a time of prayer. I'm going to tell you about a vision that I had of the church as we were coming in. The intercessors are aware of that vision, but that vision has actually shifted a little bit, and I want to tell you about the shift, and then for us to just go into a time of prayer together.
Thank you, Dr. Jones. This is Yolande. I came into the session. In my heart, I have forgiven, and I believe I have truly forgiven everyone that had done me wrong.
Yes.
Some of them have actually come forth and apologized.
Mm-hmm.
I was on a spiritual journey to the point where I used to see things clearly in my dreams.
Mm-hmm.
But somewhere along the line, I backslide.
Mm-hmm.
And as I listened to you and Deb, I learned it is a journey and there are steps to be taken. And there is something that's holding me back, and I have to find that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll follow your instructions, and I may be calling on you for guidance.